you make decisions and there's consequences to those decisions that you make, and that's what makes it so good. Good, right? Like it's just like unreal.
Why did you do that?
That can be your intro. So good.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Relax Retro Talk, episode 42. We are talking about the games that made us. So these are the games that were important in our lives, pivotal in our lives, changed maybe how we think, who we are, or just the games that we want to play moving forward kind of thing, right? So led us to maybe some epiphanies, if you will. But I did want to start off by talking about, we've got a 24-hour charity coming up called Spectrefest in memory of our good friend and brother, Jason, a.k.a. Spectre. It's coming up on, I believe it's October 18th.
October 18th,
Starts
10 a.m. Saturday to 10 a.m. Sunday. Sunday. So you don't want to miss it. Hang out with us live for 24 hours straight. We have like 6-hour blocks each. We kind of stagger them. I go the first 6, then DG goes the next 6, then I go the shitlord hours, I call them, because it's like from what, like 10 a.m. to like you do 10 p.m.
4 a.m.
So you
or
do
10 p.m. to 4 a.m. or something.
Yeah, you do 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We play a combo game from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Then I go until 10 p.m. We play combo game until 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Then you go until 4 a.m. We play a combo game until 5 a.m. And then I bring her home until
combo bames, baby.
Combo bames. And the 10 p.m. game, for anybody that is interested, we're playing Among Us. We're opening it up to the community. So if you want to come and play games with us,
if the bat wants to play, we'll play.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. So, and I think Among Us is multi-platform now at this point.
Yeah,
so I don't think it matters.
It's on like mobile.
You can get it on your phone for free. So there's
Switch, PS5, all the.
It'll be great. Yeah, we got a lot of games coming up. We do it. Every penny raised during the event is given directly to Crohn's and Colitis Canada. We don't touch the money. Zero.
Which is the best part, really.
There is no completionist happening in this world. Let me tell you.
It's nice though for us because we don't. We finish the stream and we're like, it's done, right?
Done. There's
I couldn't imagine because like my sister used to run a charity in memory of like my dad, and it was like a charity like car show and stuff. I kind of stopped helping with it because I don't like car shows and it was just depressing. So I totally understand what it's like for you too, right? Like I really appreciate the work you do for Spectrefest because of it's not easy doing this stuff in memory of someone that you love.
Yeah, it's tough.
I peaced out after 2 years. So just so you know, right? But anyways, but then it was like after the car show, because this was like what we're doing is an online stream, right?
Yeah.
So everything goes through like Tiltify or directly to all the Tiltify is set up to Crohn's and Colitis Canada.
Literally is just the only reason it goes through Tiltify is because we don't have a different way to connect to our streaming systems. So Tiltify is what allows us to pop it up on screen. That's it. It's the money still goes directly to Crohn's and Colitis.
Exactly.
Hairpin through Tiltify.
And there is the option to donate directly to. We have like a Crohn's and Colitis kind of. They make a web page for us all the time too, right? That you can donate directly to as well.
Yeah.
So there's always like the 2 options there.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is I just remember after my sister's like charity event. After it was all said and done, you got all this cash and like it was a nightmare, man. Because you're sitting on this wad of money and you're like, "Hey, we got to get this." It doesn't belong
to you.
Yeah, exactly. It's I hate it. That was the worst.
Yeah, me too.
Whereas after Spectrefest, there's like this huge relief. I feel so good about what we've done.
Yep.
And it's done. Once the stream ends, it's done. And that's I think the best part.
Yeah, you get an immediate tax receipt for your donation as well. Like it's all electronic. So so every single penny goes to Crohn's and Colitis Canada. I want to say I probably should have grabbed this total before we started recording, but we're on the cusp of coming up to $20,000 raised for
Crohn's and Colitis Canada at this point. It's our goal to cross that finish line. Well, not finish line. It's our goal to cross that threshold this year. It's kind of like
we're
a milestone,
just shy of or just under 2,500 away or something like that.
Yeah, I want to say we were near 18,000 by the end of last year's stream.
And, it was like 17 something. Yeah,
and the reason why that is that's important is because every $10,000 raised represents a research grant. And so in this case here, that would essentially mean that through this event alone, we have funded 2 full research grants directly into Crohn's and colitis.
Insane to think about to me. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, we're paying somebody.
Yeah, we're funding science.
Yeah.
Medical science.
We're pushing forward for a ultimate
fixing butts
cure of fixing butts and guts. Paper cuts. Yeah, it's really cool, man, and I'm stoked to be part of it, and things are ripping along. So hard to believe that we're already at the end of September. So we're
it always comes so fast.
It always goes so quick. Every year we talk about this year we're gonna prep in advance. We're gonna be ready to go, and then it's like, oh my god, there's 3 weeks to go.
Yeah, dude. Just for an idea of what you guys can expect, I'm going to be starting the stream off with Blitzball. We're going to be playing some Blitzball for about 30 minutes. Top 4 donators in Blitzball are going to be my party members. I'm going to be doing a Final Fantasy I Pixel Remaster all martial artists run. I'm going to try and finish it in about 5 hours.
I'm going to do the speed run.
It's a wink, wink, nod, nod speed run. I don't know how to speed run, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna use all the quality of life features, let's say, that the Pixel Remaster has to offer, and try and blast through that game. So if you want to be part of my party in that, be sure to donate in that first half hour. You can become one of 4 martial artists.
Immortalized
and then we're swinging into Sea of Thieves, which we had a good practice session last night.
Yeah, it was great.
It was fun, dude. And then you're swinging into a bunch of PS3 or PS1 games, right?
Yeah, I'm doing so every year I like to start off my first block with a retro showcase is kind of what I'm calling it, but I like to play a lot of the games that Jason liked to play, or that I have memories of playing with Jason, right? And so last year we did some NES titles. RC Pro-Am was in the middle of that one. And so this year, no different. I'm jumped onto the PS1 because I've talked about, I think I spoke about it in our PS1 podcast, but he bought a PS1 way back in the day, back when they had the big long boxes. I don't know if you remember those.
Oh, yeah, the tall,
and so
Battle Arena Toshinden.
Yeah, I've got a list of games. And it's funny because Duke was like, oh, like what PS1 games are you playing? Because you played a lot of PS1 as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm looking at this and this and this. You're like, a lot of those games didn't age very well. I was like, I know, but it's sentimental.
Sometimes that's fun, though.
What's that?
Sometimes that's fun to play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
I have a whole block dedicated to bad games because
I know. Yeah. So it should be fine. It's going to be an interesting run, that's for sure. But in that set, I've got Twisted Metal 2. I put Gran Turismo 2, but I was thinking about it. I don't know if I can actually play that because I probably won't have a way to shut the copyright music off. Because that's
which game? Gran Turismo?
Gran Turismo 2. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You could probably turn the music off.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
You would just hear the whole stream would just be like playing big rig.
I can find some music to play in the back. I'll figure something out. But yeah, Twisted Metal 2, Warhawk is on there. A bunch of different games. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Some of the classic PS1 titles that are on there. And then we go from that into a couple games. I've got a few friends coming on to play. My good buddy Matt, who shares a birthday with my older brother, October 19th as well.
Dude, how did I not know this all these years that they had the same birthday?
Yeah, same birthday. I never forget his birthday, that's for sure. And people who knew Jason as well, who kind of just wants to be part of the event. So we've got some multi. I put Peak on there because that's currently one of the ones that we're playing, but it always ends up being like a last minute call. We did Munchkin last year. We did Worms.
Worms Armageddon or something.
Yeah, we kind of just whatever it is that we can play as a group and kind of hang out and chat and talk with folks that are coming in. And then we move out of my bracket back into yours, and that's our Among Us, the community hour.
Among Us.
And then you're going into the late night with some real winners.
Oh yeah, we got the shitlord hours coming up. So I like to play the bad games super late because at least if I'm like laughing, I'm awake. You know what I mean? That's kind of my whole thing. And I just want to say I appreciate everyone that sticks it out and hangs out with me through the super late one, because that's definitely the worst. Well, it's that. And here's the thing, because when we did the first Spectrefest, I was like, I'm not a morning person, so I'm like, you know what? I would rather just stay up till 4 a.m. than try to wake up at 4 a.m. So I felt like it was better that I do this one. But yeah, it's brutal. So I'm starting off with It Came from the Desert on the TurboGrafx 16, which from what I understand is like there's like an old B movie called Them, and it's about like these giant ants.
Okay.
And it's on the TurboGrafx CD, and it's supposed to be kind of similar to that from what I understand. It's supposed to be like bad, but kind of funny good. I don't know. And then I'm going to be playing Godzilla on the Game Boy, which is like, it kind of gameplay wise, kind of reminds me of those like DK versus Mario games for some reason. And then Mega Man Mega Man Network Transmission, which is apparently really bad, but I've never played. So we're gonna see. I was gonna say,
didn't you play that one before, or was that something else?
No, I've never played Network Transmission. I've always wanted to, just to see, but apparently it's really, really bad. But I do have a lot of like donation goals, which will change and make the games even worse at that time of night. So if we get to $2,000 before or during that third block, I will be playing Lunar Dragon Song, which is the worst JRPG ever made. It is so bad, and the worst part about it is the Lunar series is like the best series ever, and then they made Dragon Song, and it's absolute dog shit. You literally lose health by running, and every battle you have an option to gain EXP or gain gold, and your weapons are constantly deteriorating, and it's awful. It's absolutely terrible.
It's a bad one.
If we get to $3,000 before or during that third block, I will do the Thieves' Key quest in Dragon Quest Heroes 2, something that is an absolute nightmare for me, and it's so bad that when I replayed the game with Fates, I just skipped it entirely. and he was like, he got it on like his second try, and I was so mad at him. And then when he came here, the whole plan of him when he came to stay at my house was to get him to beat it for me, and we fucking forgot. So I still don't have the Thieves' Key I had it in my first playthrough. It took me hours and hours, but it's terrible. So if we get that, I will try that. And then of course there's hot beans for every 20 or higher dollar donation. There's also a 50. If you donate $50 or more, I'll do a Carolina Reaper hot bean.
Oh, you're just going straight
for the Reaps.
Oh man,
so, a ton of good and bad games coming up, and then me and you are swinging in together with Streets of Rage 4. It looks like.
that's just a great trade-off game. Streets of Rage 4 is already great, and then it's just it's good. So we'll see how our reflexes are at 4 o'clock in the morning. But after that, I jump in with Boz and Bubs, who've been doing this right from the start. Those two guys were with me when I first started streaming in 2020.
That's true.
A ton of Valorant, and so we still might do some Valorant. I don't know. I took it off the board this year. We've done it every year up to this point, but it's kind of fallen off the path for me. But I've got Marvel Rivals queued up in that space, but it's just going to depend on how things look for those two guys. So
for sure,
we'll see how it goes. But some multiplayer games, usually we do multiplayer first person shooters or team shooters in the morning. And then after that, I kind of have like a medley. I kind of just take the rest of the stream and we do whatever with it. So
F-Zero, basically.
Oftentimes I'll take requests from chat. I've got access to Genesis, Super Nintendo, NES, Saturn now. I'm all over the map. Worst case scenario, I fire up Star Citizen and we fly our way to the finish line. Who knows? There's a million different ways that we can finish the stream out. So, and then usually then you come back as long as you haven't fallen asleep.
Well, usually I'll set an alarm. I try to set an alarm for right at the end.
Yeah, and then Dookie and I kind of close the show out at 10 a.m. We announce the grand total where we're at. We announce whether it's going to be an even or odd. Even and odd challenges are back again this year too.
Yeah.
And so stay tuned for all of that.
I don't remember what the
I think we had put it down, but we can leave that for secret for the time being.
Okay. We'll announce it that day.
But so that is a thing, whether or not the donation total ends on an even or an odd. We go by the dollar, not by the cents, because it's just too hard by the cents. But and then that's about it. We're aiming to cross that 20,000 mark this year, and
that'd be great.
And to think that our little event at this point has raised almost $20,000 for that charity.
It's insane to think about. Yeah, we have the best community though. What can you say?
I was just gonna say I don't think words are ever enough to say thank you to our community for always showing up and supporting us. And I greatly appreciate it. The fact that we can put Jason's name on something so awesome is great. That's why I've got he's always back here, hanging out in the background here with me. So that's the Spectrefest logo. A friend of mine, Kirk, printed that for me. And then
nice.
Our good friend,
that one there,
Chris Kent actually inked that. He drew that by hand. That's the one that I've actually got permanently put onto my body. So just he's always watching over us, keeping an eye on things.
But look forward to that October 18th. It's always a blast, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a blast hanging out with everyone and just playing some good and bad games.
Especially the bad ones.
But one other thing I wanted to ask you about before we swing into the main topic here. What did you think of Expedition 33? Or are you making a video on it?
I'm gonna make a video that is coming eventually, but it's no secret, right? I was saying it the entire time through the stream how impressed I was with
it. Was so good.
Expedition. It's such a good game, such a good game. It's been a very long time since a game has, and I won't say any spoilers at all, by the way. If anyone's like, oh my god, Expedition 3 I'm about to close that, no spoilers.
We
won't give you any spoilers. It's been such a long time since a game has given me that kind of visceral, gut feeling
multiple times
as you run through. Multiple times. The other thing I was saying this to a bunch of people is the game has this tendency to it's gets you feeling comfortable, and it's okay, I'm understanding the game, I'm getting how it works, and it's boom,
rips it all away,
and then you're just what, something crazy happens, or they add a new thing. And the combat was fluid, the story was fantastic, the voice acting was great, the environments were fantastic. When you look at that game, it has 100% set the bar for all JRPGs going forward. And I would almost go so far to say as action RPGs, I don't know what you would call, they kind of rides that line, but this is what I expect out of an RPG. This is now the bare minimum. And
especially
I know,
considering it didn't have the biggest budget, right?
It had a large budget. A lot of people say for an indie, it is an indie game, but it's not an indie game an indie game. You know what I mean? They're very talented.
But they hired out all their work. You know what I mean? It wasn't they're this huge company. They hired out.
Yeah. I had folks. Hacko had come into my stream, was talking to me about it. Apparently the game runs on Unreal Engine 5, which is notoriously bad for glitches and the way that it operates. And that team has fine-tuned the engine so well that it's just they make it sing. It's
crazy.
Phenomenal.
Well, and it was it has its own art style too, whereas it's not going it's realistic. Don't get me wrong, the graphics are very realistic. Just
kind of got a little,
but everything's got that bit of that art style to it, and that's another thing. When they made I have to send you that documentary, by the way. I told you once you finish it, you had to watch this documentary, and it shows from the start what the game was looked like originally, and then what it ended up being and like why and all that. And it looked, when they first started, it looked almost like Fortnite style graphics.
Oh, really?
Like mobile game
like
graphics.
Cartoony.
Yes.
Really?
But yes. And the like they said it before, and you probably already know this, but they wanted to make a game that they grew up playing, right? Because like Final Fantasy has fallen off of that. Like a lot of developers, like you look at like a game on the PS1 and PS2, and you look at a game on like the PS3 and on, and it's everyone was so obsessed with like realism and all that stuff that you lost something along the way, right? Like something was definitely lost there. And I really feel like even though it's very realistic looking, the fact that they were still able to add some kind of like a stylization to it, that's what made those PS2 games so memorable to me. Those PS2 and PS1 games is because everything used like every game had its own style of graphics. You know what I mean? So everything stood out.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't do realistic.
No,
right?
exactly. So. Yeah. Well, people weren't trying to make it look realistic. They were like,
they were trying to a point, but they knew that they were going to fall short of that.
They knew their limitations,
some kind of
and so they intended to push further in other directions instead, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
It's absolutely a masterclass on RPGs, and if Square Enix should be taking note. And I know we've shared a lot of posts and stuff about it, about them talking about the game and stuff like that, but they should take note, because if the next Final Fantasy game isn't at least this or better, I don't know if I'll ever play another Final Fantasy game again.
Well, I mean, right? I don't think it would. I don't have high hopes because of
I really don't, like, considering their
but like 12 was good. I really love 12, but since 12, there's not.
But that's what I mean is that this has this. I thought while playing,
I like 15, but it's different.
That Expedition 33 had the ability to set the JRPGs back on the proper track again. Yeah, the kind of like what Baldur's Gate 3 did for the CRPG genre, right? Like that is now the S tier. That is what we want out of a game, right?
Yeah.
And so people are now going to strive to get there or better.
Hopefully.
Right. And so I look at Expedition 33 the exact same way.
Yeah.
I favorite voice actor in the game, Charlie Cox, does the voices of
Daredevil, right?
Gustav. Phenomenal. Love that guy. Absolutely great. The cast is brilliant. Everybody in that game is fantastic.
They all did such a good job.
Yeah, and all the way right up to the end of the game, it's literally a roller coaster the whole way through. So
yeah, it is.
Phenomenal game. That is 100% my game of the year. If it doesn't win game of the year, then man, I don't know. I have yet to see any game even remotely close to as impressive as Expedition 33. There's a lot of impressive games that came out this year, but it's like watching a Formula 1 race car take off down a street against a bicycle. You know what I mean? Like there's just no chance, in my opinion.
It's good. There's a lot of good games this year for sure. Too many, I would agree. I would argue, honestly. But a lot of great games. Feel bad for a lot of them because
a lot of them just picked the wrong year to come out is all.
Yeah. I think we're gonna get a lot of games that would have done really well financially get it not doing well because you've got like 10 really good games releasing in like 2 month span.
For sure.
It's going to hurt sales big time.
Something else that I appreciated of Expedition 33, there's no DLC, there's no battle pass,
the price point was
fantastic. I even got it on sale. I got it for like $55 or something like that, right? Which like Borderlands 4 just dropped. It's $110.
Yeah, we're talking Canadian dollars too.
Canadian. Don't sorry, Americans. Yeah, I don't know the conversion. $69, $79, $89, whatever it is. But this game is $40 cheaper than the other games that are brand new, and I would say 40 times better, if not more.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's spin on in to the main topic. So we're talking about the games
that made us. They made us.
Do you want to start, or how do you want to do this?
I can. Do you want me to give you my? So here's the thing. We listed our games in chronological order, not necessarily these are not the best games I've ever played.
Exactly.
These are the games that created like pivotal moments or changed our course of direction in the type of games that we like to play, kind of.
Exactly.
Idea, right? So bear with us from that.
And sometimes maybe we played this game. Maybe I played a PS or a NES game after I played a PS2 game. You know what I mean? Like it's the order we played them in too.
Yeah, chronological in the order of you. Mine, the way it worked out, honestly, is proper chronological order.
Pretty much me too. There's maybe one that's out. Yeah.
With that being said, yeah, for sure. So the first game that hit my list is Space Harrier for the Sega Master System.
No way.
And the reason for is it's technically the first video game I ever played, ever. So we had a Sega Master System before we had an NES. My dad bought it for my older brother when he was just little, like I wasn't born yet. And one of those like core memories that I have in gaming is that we were trying to beat, and anyone that hasn't played Space Harrier for the Master System, it's hard. Okay, Space Harrier is not an easy game. And so on the Master System, I can pretty consistently get to stage 3. And I think there's something like 20 stages or 25 stages or something like that, right? So like not even 10% of the way through.
Yeah.
And so we just could not beat the stage. We got this far, couldn't beat the stage. Got this far, couldn't beat the stage. My mom gets the controller and she makes it from like stage 3 or wherever it was that we're ending. And she gets like stage 12. Right? Or like she like cruised through it. And yeah, so she was playing that when I was a baby. And we found that out apparently. So
that's crazy.
Very cool. So yeah, it's technically my very first playing video games at all, because I thought about Super Mario Bros, but I didn't play Super Mario Bros actually until quite late. We didn't have our NES until way late. Like it would have been 1990, maybe 91. Like it was late in the lifespan of the console. And so I hadn't played Mario until after playing NES at other friends. I think I played Mega Man 2. I played Zelda. I had played what else? Duck Hunt. I had played Battletoads. I had played a lot of games before I actually played Super Mario Bros. And so, I mean, that was good. But I mean, Space Harrier was as soon as we talked about this being the topic, that was literally the first game I wrote.
Oh, nice, dude.
List. Yeah.
So yeah, my this isn't on my list, but yeah, the first game I ever played, and I think I said it a million times, was Double Dragon 2, because my mom, it was the same idea. Like we got our NES, it would have been probably around like 1990, 1991 or something. Yeah. But my mom did that mom thing where they're not really sure what's going on. Right. And she bought an NES and it came with Mario and Duck Hunt, like the dual pack or whatever. Yep. But she didn't know it came with a game. So she was like, oh, like if you've ever seen the cover of Double Dragon 2 on the NES, it just looks so badass.
It looks great.
So she was like, yeah. So she was like, oh, I need to buy a game with it. So she bought that. So that was we played that before we played Mario.
Love it.
Actually.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I'm so glad you picked Space Harrier. That's awesome, man. That's why I wanted to do this episode so bad, because I think we're gonna like learn a bit about each other. Like we've known each other for our whole lives.
That's right.
But I think it's like something to like look at each other and see like what's important, like what games were so like important in our lives. I think that's just so interesting to me.
Definitely.
So let me see. I do have it listed out and I don't want to mess this up. So let's see. So number one for me, and it was really hard to pick. I shouldn't say number one, but my first one, it was really hard for me to pick. It was either going to be Dragon Warrior 1 or Dragon Warrior 4. And I went with Dragon Warrior 4 because Dragon Warrior 1, I was like, I couldn't really read yet. Like my whole reason for pressing forward was to see new monsters. Like I knew that I couldn't understand much, but I could understand that when I kept fighting guys,
changed.
Yeah, the monster changed when I wanted to see more of the world and more towns. Yeah. And I wanted to see more monsters. And it's honestly crazy to me because I would have watched like Dragon Ball years after this, right? Like way after this. And it's really Akira Toriyama's art style that got me hooked because I couldn't read, man. It was literally, I wanted to see more of those cool monsters.
For sure.
And I remember when I went from I knew that when I fought monsters, I was getting stronger because I knew, okay, now I can fight. It makes this jingle, and now I can beat up more monsters. And it was tedious as hell because I couldn't buy anything. So I would have just like muscled my way as far as I could get, right? And that's why when I beat the green dragon, I thought I had beat the game, but I would have been like, I probably was like almost at the level cap by the time I fought him, because I would have had the, what is it, like the cypress stick you get at the beginning of the game, and like no armor. I just died a lot, just right? Like, but I couldn't spend my gold anyways, so it didn't matter that I was losing my gold.
Well, and that's the nice thing about Dragon Quest, you don't lose your progression, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it was gonna be that, because that was like my first JRPG, but it was honestly Dragon Warrior 4. That was that first game where it was honestly the first game where gaming wasn't just a casual thing that you did for fun. Dragon Warrior 4 for me was like my first game I was ever obsessed with. It was like, you know, when you like you wake up early in the morning before school so you can play, and then all day at school, that's all you think about is getting home and playing it again. That was the first game like that for me. So that's what made me, I want to say, like a gamer, because gaming up until then was just something I did with my mom sometimes. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, oh, let's play Mario. Like, let's play Double Dragon. Like, you know what I mean?
We need something to do.
Yeah, for like 20 minutes before supper or something, right? But Dragon Warrior 4 was like the first time that I was absolutely obsessed with the characters, the world, and like I could kind of figure out what was going on in the story too, to a degree. Like I would have been in like grade like 3 maybe when I played that. So I could read, I could kind of interpret things. I couldn't get like the depths of the situation or anything, but I knew what I was supposed to be doing and how to do it, basically, right? And yeah, it was just cool to explore that world, and it left a huge imprint on me. And it's what made me kind of fall in love with JRPGs, but it was also kind of the last JRPG I played for a very long time, because we didn't know what JRPGs were back then.
That's right. Yeah, it was just a like a weird role-playing game. Yeah, for sure. Do you want we'll just go, do you want to just go back and forth? We can go back and forth. Okay, so so Space Harrier would have been 1989, 1990. And then fast forward to 1997. Final Fantasy VII. And for pretty much the exact same reasons that you're listing for Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy VII was the very first time I ever played a JRPG, period. Because I didn't even know this type of game existed. So I didn't put it together that there was 6 Final Fantasies before Final Fantasy VII.
You just thought the game was called
Final because Fantasy. I like never heard of this game before. I had never heard of anything of it. And because they're not chronological, right? 6 has nothing to do with 7, which has nothing to do with 8, right?
It made me think of that. Somebody posted a meme in our Discord, and it was like, is it okay if I watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine if I haven't watched Star Trek Deep Space 1 through 8?
For real. And so Final Fantasy VII was such a pivotal moment for gaming. It shifted gaming for me, period. Because at that time, we had Super Nintendo, right? The PS1 had come out, and this was how the PlayStation was going to flex its muscles and show you what it could do.
Yeah.
Versus the N64, it was just like afterburners, right? Like in my opinion, whenever I looked at a PS1 game and I looked at an N64 game, there was literally no contest whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
The game was fantastic, and we had picked it up before even any of the hype at that point, right? Like Jason had got like literally like a release date copy of
Oh, really?
Because he was in on I don't know if you remember, there was this old game TV show called Game Nation that used to be on TV. And he watched that. That's how we stayed in touch. And we had the internet at the time too. We had dial-up internet. He was constantly on the push for what's the next best PlayStation game, right? Because he always wanted to have like what was the next one that he should be looking at. And I remember he brought this home and he was like, you got to check this out, right? And it's like it's a story-based game.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen anything like it. And so not the best Final Fantasy game of all time, but definitely for me, that was what I was like, wow, I need to play more of these games. And then that in my opinion, because of Final Fantasy VII, is the reason why I like Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Well, exactly,
right? Like,
yeah.
why it's even on my radar at all is because of a young, 10-year-old version of myself playing Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. I would say Final Fantasy VII is either the most or second most important JRPG of all time.
Sure. Yeah.
I would like, because it's
skyrocketed the genre.
In the West, it would be the most important. I would
100%.
argue.
Oh yeah, 100% over on this side. The thing about Final Fantasy VII and like my comments about Expedition 33 before about it setting the bar, Final Fantasy VII set the bar for JRPGs over here. So when people picked up, the reason why Final Fantasy VIII isn't as good is because they were expecting Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Right. And when you look into the history of Square Enix or Squaresoft at the time, what they did with Final Fantasy VII, and then they split, right? And they built Final Fantasy VIII over here, and they built Final Fantasy IX over here, simultaneously different chapters. It's the reason why people didn't like VIII.
Yeah.
It's not because VIII was a bad game. It's because it wasn't at all like the predecessor. Yeah. And it was made by a completely different team. Well, not completely, but mostly different.
It was like half of the team.
It was half, right? Yeah. And so 7 set the line, and then that line just got pushed up with the better games that came along, right? Because everyone was like, we want what they did, but we want to do it better. Yeah. And that's what I'm hoping for Expedition 30. That's why I hope where we're coming into a renaissance.
Yeah, that's the new bar.
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah. I see what you mean. And when you said it's the bar, that I think I've said it before, but I'm like the guy that everybody thinks like hates Final Fantasy VII. I don't hate it. I just don't see where like I see why it was popular. And I understand why. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. I understand why it's important, but I don't see it as like this pinnacle, right?
No, you don't have a level of sentimentality with it, so you're able to look at it really objectively.
Yes.
And when you look at it in comparison to the other Final Fantasies, even if it's not even just all JRPG, but just the Final Fantasies, and I said it too, it's not the best one. It doesn't have the best story. It doesn't have the best gameplay. It doesn't have the best kind of like gimmick.
The gameplay is one of the best, I would say. Though,
it's up there, right? But I mean, there's better. But the thing is that at that point in time, there was nothing else like it.
Yes, and when you say it's the bar, when I went back, I think it was like 2 years of my stream, I went back and played a bunch of PS1 JRPGs that I missed out on. And I was like, and these were games that were hyped up and people are going to get mad, but like Breath of Fire and like stuff like that. And I went back and I played them and I was like, these kind of suck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's not that they suck, but they're worse than what I expect. Correct. Right? Because
they didn't,
like you said, to me, when I played Final Fantasy VII again after playing those, I was like, okay, I get it. Because you're comparing games like Breath of Fire 1 through 3. I can't even think off the top of my head some other like Valkyrie Profile, like all these other games that people hype to the moon, Xenogears. You play those, and then you play Final Fantasy VII, and then and until I did that, I was known as probably the biggest Final Fantasy VII hater.
Like, this game's terrible.
But when I went back and did that, and then played 7 after that, I was like, I get it, because like this stuff is not on par with Final Fantasy VII at all.
100%. And then and you can see how the trajectory immediately changes after it, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone was chasing the same thing. They were like, people want cutscenes, people want dramatic moments in games, people want to be able to control multiple characters that all have different play styles that aren't the same carbon copies of each other, right? And then you see people then taking it to the next level, right? And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work, but at least you saw new stuff and different things were happening. And so to me, that to come all the way back down to as a gamer, Final Fantasy VII was absolute pivotal moment for me.
Yeah,
right.
totally.
I love that game, but I also I'm realistic enough to be like, well, it's not the best, but especially I did a replay of it not that long ago, right? And I've played it so many times that I just know what to do and where to go.
Yeah.
But I was talking about it while I was streaming, and I was like, there's moments in here where I struggled for hours on end, not knowing what to do and getting so incredibly frustrated that I would eventually quit. So there's points in it where it's not
like trying to catch a fucking chocobo.
The whole gold chocobo pathway is insane. There's no way you could do it without a guide. I mean, obviously people did it, but it's difficult.
Yeah, dude, that's a great pick. I feel like because like I always rip on you for Final Fantasy VII being like one of your favorites, right?
Yep.
But I feel like I'm just as guilty with Dragon Quest I.
Sure.
Like, there's no fucking way Dragon Quest I should rank as high as I would rank it. But like, to me, Dragon Quest I it was like, that was my childhood, man. Like, Dragon Quest 1 and 4 were my childhood. 4 I'll stand by. 4 is a fucking good game. If you ask any like Dragon Quest fan what their like top 3 are, they'll always put 4 somewhere in the top 3 or 4. Sure. You ask any Dragon Quest fan where Dragon Quest 1 is, this is where my eyes were open to this. Is like I've watched like other YouTube, like my favorite JRPG YouTubers, David Vink, and even one of my friends, Fem Trooper. They saw them like ranking their favorite, like their Dragon Quest games from like best to worst, and they put like Dragon Quest 1 as the worst.
Oh no.
And I'm like my heart is breaking. And like all these people would rank it in like the bottom 3, and that's when I was like, you know what, I think it's just complete nostalgia why I love Dragon Quest 1 so much.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, there's sentimentality plays a big role into it.
Huge,
right?
Yeah.
And you'll always hear me say, like, anytime I'm talking about Final Fantasy VII, I'll be the first one to be like, it's not the best. I think it's great. But if you've never played this game before and you go back and play it, you're going to think it's not great because it was the start, right? It was the McDonald's hamburger before there was fast food.
Yeah,
right?
it was the hamburger cheeseburger before the Big Mac came out.
Yeah, like I mean,
you know what I mean?
Like they had this, then they built off of this and made better things, and that's a good thing. That's fantastic. But yeah, absolutely.
But all right, so my next pick, and this is what I mean when I said Dragon Warrior 4 was my last, could have been my last JRPG, and we'll get to that later, but Sonic 3 and Knuckles is my second pick. So this was another one. It was so hard. Like Sonic 2, I probably have more memories with Sonic 2 because I owned Sonic 2 and I played that game a billion times. But it was Sonic, it's kind of started in the ending to Sonic 2, but it was Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That was the first time, and remember, I was still really young when I played Dragon Warrior 4, but Sonic 3 and Knuckles was the first time where I like felt something playing a game.
Okay.
And it was crazy to me because Sonic 3 and Knuckles has not a single line of dialogue and tells a great story.
Oh yeah.
Like you feel the emotions that these little sprites have, and man, that was the game that, I don't know if your parents did this, but so when my parents would like go out of town or something for the weekend and we'd have like a babysitter, we were allowed to each rent like one game. I'd rent a game, my sister would rent a movie.
Okay.
And I would rent Sonic 3 every single weekend, like every single time. And then it wasn't until I think my buddy, like my friend Paul, he had Sonic and Knuckles. So then that was the first time I played Sonic 3 and Knuckles and got the full story.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, I'd played that through that multiple times. And it's just, the game is so good. It's like, I'm more of like an action platformer guy. So like, I like to be able to attack while I'm platforming. I don't like pure platformers unless they're like the pinnacle, like something like Celeste. I loved Celeste, and I loved like Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 Knuckles and Sonic Mania, and that's about it when it comes to pure platformers for me. But Sonic 3 and Knuckles was just The level design was so good. The music was so good. And it just like, it blew my mind what you could do on the freaking Genesis with dude, the visuals. Like, it was like, to a kid that had ADHD, like, you've got all these bright colors, and like all the characters are these bright colors, and the backgrounds, you've got like this intense amount of parallax scrolling in the background. Like, the world seemed alive. Like, this was also like peak Sonic to me. Like, I was like reading the comics, I was watching the TV show.
Yeah.
And so when Sonic 3 came out, and then later, like, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, like, that changed my life.
Well, they made this into a movie, right? Like the
Sonic 2 movie is essentially based off of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Yeah. It's just, oh my God, it was so damn good. It's something that I don't know that I'll ever, like, it was the first time that I felt something playing a video game, I guess sure. Is the best way to put it. Because as much as I was obsessed with Dragon Warrior 4, I was obsessed with like the characters and seeing what happened next, because I was too young to feel any of like the emotions behind the actions, if that makes sense.
Right.
But with Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it had, like I said, all that the visuals were like fucking, at that time, 10 out of 10. The music was 10 out of 10. The gameplay was 10 out of 10. The fact that like you would get to the end of a stage with Sonic, and you would just see Knuckles with that fucking shit-eating grin, and he would just open all of a sudden he'd like push a button, the floor would open up, and Sonic would just be fucked. He would just like fall to the floor.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and you just wanted to get at him, right? And the whole game, you're like, fuck that guy, man. Yeah. Like, why? I'm here to help him.
Yeah.
And he like is just here to fuck me at every opportunity. And then the part that really like made me like, I don't know, I still get like the feels big time when I even think about it, is when you finally fight Knuckles in the Master Emerald room or whatever, and you fight Knuckles, and it's kind of the shittiest boss fight ever. Like, if you took like, because you've played like Sonic 2, right? You literally just jump on an enemy to hurt them, right?
Right.
Well, Knuckles and Sonic both just jump on an enemy to hurt them. So the boss fight is like literally you just jump on Knuckles, you jump on Knuckles, you jump on Knuckles, and it's over. But after that boss fight, Knuckles like is like grabbing onto the Master Emerald because he thinks that you're trying to take this from him. He is the protector. If this emerald is removed from the island, Angel Island falls into the sea. And he's like grabbing it, and he's like, and that's like when you kind of realize, you're like, oh, like he thinks I'm trying to take this from him.
I'm the bad guy?
Yeah, he thinks I'm trying to take this from him. Because the whole time you just thought he was an asshole, right? But that's when you realize the whole time he thought you were an asshole. Mm-hmm. And then he's holding on to it, and you're like, oh, buddy, I'm not here to like screw you over. I'm here to like defeat Robotnik. And then right as you come to that realization, Robotnik comes from off screen and starts fucking like tasing Knuckles as he's holding on to the Master Emerald. And you can just see like in this Knuckles' sprite's like expression, the fact that he realizes he's being betrayed by the guy that he thought was on his side, B, that the guy that he has been trying to fuck over is there to help, and C, that he basically, because of his own failings in like deciphering what was actually going on, he is now losing the thing that his entire life existence is to protect. And he like really like blames himself, and the look of defeat on his face when Robotnik steals that Master Emerald, and it's just like that scene, just talking about it just plays through my head. He just looks defeated, and it's like, fuck, I'm so sorry. I've lost everything, and it is all my fault, and I'm so sorry. And then he just like, he like shows you the way. He's like, look, you're the only one who can help now. Take this. And it's all on you now, buddy. And it's just like that part of the game, and then beating it, man, the ending to it. Oh man, so that game's so fucking good.
So good.
So fucking good.
Yeah. Epic moments. I know the story because of the movie, and I've seen some of the game. I never played through the game completely.
Oh, you gotta play through it, man. Even get like there's like the Sonic Origins or whatever collection.
I have the full.
But the Sonic
pack.
Origins fucks the music because
really?
Michael Jackson. Yeah, so because Michael Jackson actually had a hand in the soundtrack. And then they didn't want to. Well, for years they were like, "No, he doesn't." And then they were like, "Yes, yes." And then the fans were like, "Yes, he does." And then like producers and stuff were like, "Yes, he does." And then Sega was like, "No, he doesn't," because of the whole like child, thing, right? And then all of a sudden, Michael Jackson dies. It comes out, yes, he did have involvement with the soundtrack of Sonic 3 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And then Sonic Origins comes out, and Sega is like, we can't afford to pay the royalties to his like whatever his estate or whatever. So they put like the what the music was originally going to be before Michael Jackson stepped in and redid the soundtrack. Okay. So the soundtrack kind of sucks in the Sonic Origins, but Sonic Origins is the way to go because the you have like infinite lives and stuff. Okay. Like Sonic 3 and Knuckles is fucking hard.
Yeah, I've got the full kit. I got it all for, I think I got it in a Humble Bundle or something like that. I've got all of the games, all of them.
Yeah,
I've
got to play it. It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Yeah, we never had a Sega as a kid, so I don't have that background. But yeah, number 3. Number 3 for me is a kind of a bit of a twofer. So I wrote it down as Half-Life for the PC.
Ooh.
But if we're talking about the pivotal moments, for me, it's the mods. It's the Half-Life mods.
Oh,
it would have been Team Fortress Classic, Counter-Strike.
That was just a mod originally?
And Day of Defeat. Yeah, they were just add-ons for Half-Life.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And I played a metric ton of Team Fortress Classic. As a young teenager, I spent a ludicrous amount of time on, like, before esports were a thing, we would have gaming leagues, and I was on a team. I was in like
I remember that.
What they called it. We would have team practice. We would do games. We would do like, and we were good, right? Like we were pushing it. I did a lot of Team Fortress Classic. I still keep in touch with a few of my friends from back in the day when we were.
You said one of them like streams now.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
Right?
Shelly is a good friend of mine who streams on Twitch now too. And my other friend John was on my Team Fortress Classic team, and we moved. Our Team Fortress Classic team had folded. And we moved over into Counter-Strike, and then I started playing Counter-Strike with them and a few other friends too.
Yeah, I remember you being in a like super like serious clan for Counter-Strike.
And that carried straight through into college. I was still playing pretty consistently for a number of years. And the reason why it's on this list is because that was my entry into online gaming, right? Playing Team Fortress Classic multiplayer on dial-up internet. It was insane, right? I would have a ping. I think our standard ping was like 390 or something like that.
Was it like unplayable, or was it because
we made it work, right? So we were getting real good because, you know, like in Team Fortress, the sniper, when you charge up your sniper rifle, it makes the red dot, right?
Oh, okay.
And so what we would do is, if the person's here, we would aim the dot here and shoot, and then by the time that the game synced up, it would start taking them out. We were getting really good at it. And then we moved to high-speed internet, and then once we moved into high-speed internet, then all of these games that I was playing and getting good at playing on dial-up, I was even better at playing now without the lag.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that just kind of helped push it. So that was my first foray into online gaming, like serious online gaming. The very first online game I ever played was Duke Nukem 3D.
Oh yeah,
I had I had a hacked copy of Duke Nukem 3D, and I would play Duke Match, or Death Match is what they had, and we would play that with online people through the built-in system. So cool.
It was crazy back then to be able to even do that, though.
Absolutely. The concept of being able to connect to the internet and play with people across the world was was very much lost on me as a kid, but
yeah,
it's crazy, right? So
it was, yeah.
So many good memories of playing those games as a kid. I think back to Team Fortress Classic all the time. I booted it up again. It doesn't have the same shine that it did before. And then Team Fortress 2 came out, and that was good for a while, and now it's kind of not good, and it is what it is, right? But to think that I've been playing those games since 1998, right?
Yeah.
1998, 1999, pretty crazy to think about it. So
that is crazy.
Huge pivotal in my like. I still like first person shooter online through Call of Duty, through Battlefield, through all of those first person shooters I play now. That's all because of this. Marvel Heroes, like that's Team Fortress Classic, man. That's where it started. And if we're really giving thanks to Team Fortress, it was originally a Quake mod. So
really?
It was a Quake mod, and then they moved it from the Quake engine to the Half-Life engine. And that's where it took off from there. So yeah, super cool. Crazy.
I think the first online game I played would have been like Medal of Honor Allied Assault.
Okay, yep. Great game.
Yeah.
Or Tribes.
Yeah, Tribes. We used to play that Tribes paintball mod all the time.
I debated putting Tribes or Freelancer on the list.
Oh, Freelancer. That was a good one, man. I forgot about that. That was a good game.
But I didn't think that they were more pivotal than Half-Life.
I would love to get Freelancer working again and actually play that.
I've seen a couple of YouTube videos that it hasn't really aged very well. But Star Citizen's pretty good for doing what Freelancer did. If you want to do,
it's kind of ironic though, and kind of funny, and kind of shitty at the same time.
What's that?
It's for years, Vinny has been trying to talk you into playing Star Citizen, and now that he's harvesting and not able to play, you're getting into Star Citizen.
That's right. Yeah, no, it's one of those. I won't be done with it for quite a while because I'm enjoying it so much, right? But it's the same thing as what we were doing with Freelancer. We hop on. The game is made more fun by the people you play with.
Yeah.
Right. So. Finn's got this big
spend hours, dude. I was blowing up graphics cards playing Freelancer.
Yeah,
back in the day.
I remember. Yeah, absolutely, right. So you want to be a pirate, like all of the things, because it's made by the same guy, right?
Same. Yeah,
it's the same guy. It's just the next evolution of the game. You want to be a pirate. You want to smuggle. You want to cargo haul. You want to do missions. You want to be a mercenary. All of those things exist. It's great. Yeah,
I just remember being on voice chat, and I don't know if it was you. Or Finny, and I was like, dude, the whole screen just went black again. Like every time I would hit those jump gates, my whole screen would go black, and then sometimes the game would crash, and sometimes it wouldn't. And then I was like, I remember I opened up. Somebody told me to open up the side of my computer to look inside or something. And I was like, why is there Kleenex coming out of this fucking chip thing? And somebody was like, oh, you blew the caps on your graphics card. I was like, what does that mean? I was like, I don't know, man. There's fucking Kleenex coming out of it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, that was
too good.
Speaking of 1998, the next game on my list is Final Fantasy VIII.
There it is.
So, as I said, Dragon Warrior 4 was the last JRPG I could have ever played in my life because, like I said, I didn't know what the fuck a JRPG was. Mm-hmm. I just knew that I really enjoyed Dragon Warrior, and I really enjoyed Dragon Warrior 4. I enjoyed it even more. I didn't know that there was a genre, right? I didn't know that was a genre. I just know those were two games.
It was a video game.
Yeah, there were two games from obviously the same series, and that's just how that series played. I thought it was just that series was the only games that played like that. And even before Dragon Warrior 4, most of the games I played was like Castlevania, Mega Man, right? Those kinds of games, like action platformers. Rastin.
Jump and slash, man.
Yeah, jump and slash, man. So in high school, I was in high school. And one of my friends was constantly talking. He would come to school and he would constantly talk about Final Fantasy VII, how amazing Final Fantasy VII was. This is the best game I've ever played, blah, 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 Final Fantasy VII. And I was
it wasn't me. It was someone else.
You, no.
It was someone else.
It wasn't you, yeah. You weren't in my school yet.
No,
yeah.
I wasn't in your school yet.
And I was like, well, fuck, I should probably get this game. It sounds like a blast, right?
Yeah.
Like it sounds like there's no way it's gonna top
I want
Sonic
the best
the
game of
Hedgehog
all
3.
time. Yeah, I want the best game of all time.
Yeah, I want the best game of all time. There's no way it narratively tops Sonic the Hedgehog 3, though.
You see where Knuckles was on the ground? How could it be worse than that?
Yeah. And so I went to Walmart because we both of us grew up in a small town, right? You had to drive an hour and a half, or not an hour and a half. You had to drive like 45 minutes to the nearby city and go to Walmart or something to get a game. So I went to Walmart and I was like, I need Final Fantasy VII. My friend told me all about this game, and apparently it's awesome, and I need to play Final Fantasy VII. So the guy at Walmart is like, you know what? This just came in, and it's even better. And it was Final Fantasy VIII because like
one better than the last.
Yeah, because that's how it was back then, right? If it's new, it's better
for sure.
And
the graphics were better.
Yeah, they were. I mean, arguably. It kind of looks like he's made out of razor blades.
The cutscenes were better.
Yeah, the cutscenes. Yeah.
The sprites I thought were also better too, while they were a jank.
Yeah.
The original Final Fantasy VII sprites, Cloud's got horse hooves.
Yeah, I know. It's but Squall looks like he's made out of razor blades.
That is true. Yeah, he's a little rough.
It's like one extreme to the other.
He's a little rough. Gun blades were so cool though.
Dude.
When Final Fantasy VIII, I'm sorry to cut you off, but when Final Fantasy VIII released, I got a little Lionheart pendant. I wore it like a necklace.
No way.
Yeah, I wish I still had it. It's at my parents' place somewhere in a box.
You got to get that.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, I go there and the guy at Walmart, working at Walmart, it's like, you got it. This one's even better. Just came out. And I was like, okay, like it's better.
Okay.
And anybody else nowadays, if it like nobody in the world today would ever tell you that Final Fantasy VIII is better than Final Fantasy VII.
For sure.
This day, I still like it better, but it's because of how important it is to me. But,
sentimentality. Yeah.
Yes. And so I got that game, and I just remember, just as we did the whole drive home, I read the entire manual. So I was already obsessed with all these characters that I had just read about who they are and all this stuff. I knew how to play the game for the most part, because the manual didn't tell you that the fucking enemies leveled up with you.
Yeah, manual didn't say don't grind.
Yeah. And so I got home. I didn't know it was a JRPG either, right? Because I didn't know what a JRPG was. I didn't know it was going to play like Dragon Warrior. So I get home, I pop it in. That opening cutscene, man, one of the best of all time.
It's great. Yeah, I really, the Final Fantasy VIII cutscenes are phenomenal.
Yeah, dude. And then, so anyways, the cutscene, you wake up in the infirmary, all that stuff. And then you go, you do like the fire cavern. And I remember grinding quite a bit even before the fire cavern, because I was like, as soon as I got in the first battle, I was like, oh, this is like Dragon Warrior. I like grinding. Like that's all I did in the first one, right? Yep. And then I did a lot of it in the second. And then I was like, all right, well, I got to grind. So I was like probably level 15. So you start the game, I think, at level 5. I was level 15 before I went to the fire cavern. I was like, oh man, that was pretty tough actually. So I should probably grind even more before the Dalit mission, which is like the second mission in the game.
I was leveled worse.
Dude, so yeah, in case people watching or listening aren't aware, in Final Fantasy VIII, the monsters level up with you, and the higher level you are, the more difficult the game actually becomes. So take the mentality that I had playing Dragon Warrior, where you had to grind to make the game easier, and not knowing the fact that I was inadvertently making it more difficult all the time. And so I'm constantly like, oh wow, this is hard, I must have been underleveled, and constantly like making the game more difficult every time. And so it was years and years afterwards that I actually ended up beating it. But yeah, I was level 25 before the Dalit mission, and it was hard as fuck. But yeah, that game was, again, like the first time I actually felt like a really good story. Like I loved all the characters, all the events that happen. Like I feel like the story in Final Fantasy VIII is really, really good. It really drew me in. I really like the combat in that game.
The card game.
What's that?
The card game.
Oh, the card game. Yes. And it's just like the music still probably top 1 or 2 soundtracks of all time to me. That and Chrono Cross are like right up there as the best. And that's what got me into JRPGs. So if I had never played, if that friend never told me Final Fantasy VII was so good and I never got my hands on Final Fantasy VIII, I never would have known what a JRPG was. I never would have went back because it was after 8. I finished 8, and then I remember it was like Christmas time, and Final Fantasy 9 was in the wish book. You know how you'd circle all the things you wanted in the Christmas wish book?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, fucking A, I got to play the sequel to this. I thought it was going to be like an actual like direct sequel, right? Because I played 8. And then I got Final Fantasy 9, and like 9's like my favorite one, right? So after I played 9, then I was like, oh, I gotta play. That's when Origins came out on the PS1, so I played Final Fantasy 1 and 2. 2 sucked, and then Final Fantasy Anthology. So I played Final Fantasy 5 and 6, and then Final Fantasy Chronicles, which was 4 and Chrono Trigger. So
was it 5 and 6?
Yeah.
Or was it it was 4 and 6?
No, 4 and Chrono Trigger were bundled together.
I don't remember 5 being on that kit. What 5 did I play?
Anthology was
maybe
was
I did
5
play
and
the
6.
PS1 5.
Yeah, that would have been on Anthology. But yeah, I went back, I played through all of them, and then I played Tactics, which was also incredible. And I just became absolutely obsessed with Final Fantasy. I played them all. I loved all of them for the most part. And that never would have happened if I never played Final Fantasy VIII.
For sure. Yeah. 8 was good. A lot of people give 8 a bad rap, but I still stand by that. People didn't like 8 because it didn't play like the other JRPGs, right? Like
I feel like 8 is just so different, and
it's different.
Yeah. So I understand why people don't like it. I honestly
the junction system's a bit complicated.
It's very weird. Yeah.
The fact that you don't level grind, I think that got a lot of people too. And the story drags a pretty good amount. Like the seed things, the high school drama that kind of exists.
Yeah. Well, disc 2 sucks ass. Like almost the entirety of disc 2 is not good.
Yeah, so there's just
a lot of people would have
like,
probably dropped it in disc 2.
Yeah, there's just kind of like a lot of like,
yeah,
you know.
But to me at that time, that was like, I've never seen, because kind of like with you with Final Fantasy VII, I had never seen. I had story, like I said, I had story in Sonic 3 Knuckles. I had story in Dragon Warrior 4, but I never had like spectacle like that, right?
Yeah.
Like there's some crazy fucking cutscenes and things that happen in Final Fantasy VIII, and I'd never conceived anything like that happening in video games before that point, so it blew me away.
Yeah, I think 8's the next big JRPG. I have to decide if it's January, if I start that in January, or if I start that before Christmas. So
yeah,
but that's my next one, the next big one that I'm going to be doing. So I'm looking forward to actually completing it, right? I've started and stopped that game more times than any other Final Fantasy game.
That was me with 6.
Yeah.
6 like, and 7, honestly.
I do a lot of like playing the first 8 hours of the game.
You probably get to like the second disc and you want to break
I don't even know if I get to the second disc, honestly. Like the first time I played it, when it came out, when Final Fantasy VIII came out, I picked it up on launch because I was like, yes, 7 was amazing. This is gonna be fantastic.
Yeah.
And it was so wildly different from 7. I just kept waiting for it to turn into like what Final Fantasy VII was, and it just never did.
Yeah, it's very different.
And the only I remember being in like a like it was like spooky graveyard kind of place when you fight Tonberries there.
Oh, you made it that far?
And I got
fucking Sentra?
I got there and I kept dying, and I was finally just like, forget it. And I just
that's optional. That's an optional place. It's hard as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, that you made it pretty far then.
But that was also without a walkthrough, so maybe I stumbled in there and didn't know I should be there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could be. But that's pretty far. You definitely got a good ways in.
That was my first playthrough. I never got that far again. So yep. Too good. Okay, so number 4, I'm jumping only a couple of years. So The next game I have is Diablo II.
Ooh.
And its expansion, Lord of Darkness, or Lord of Destruction, not Lord of Darkness, Lord of Destruction. And that's for the PC. And this is on the list because from this point forward, I am 100% in on games that where I can find some like epic loot of some kind, like a legendary drop or something like that. I'm immediately interested in this kind of game. Right, the top down ARPG type, go through the dungeon and get your way through. And this is actually the start of my like appreciation for Dungeons and Dragons at this point too.
Oh, I guess.
Right, because it all kind of starts to merge at this point, without me even realizing it. Right, but all of the things that I enjoy doing are starting to kind of start coming together. Right, I spent countless hours in Diablo 2. Like I couldn't even begin to tell you. And then from there, Diablo 3. I did play a little bit of Diablo 4, not as much. Path of Exile, all of those types of games from this, countless hours. Ludicrous
you
amounts of hours.
reran those games a million
times. And again, the online aspect of things, but the ability to party up, go through a dungeon, find loot. This was something I had never really done much of. Right, there was other games that did it. This one just did it the best, in my opinion. Right, and everyone else was chasing it at that time too. Everyone wanted to be the next Diablo 2, so it was another one of those pivotal moments. Be a fantastic game, absolutely fantastic game, blew my mind, and it makes me really sad to see where Blizzard's at now compared to where they used to be. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, like in Final Fantasy too, man.
It's the same thing, man. Live long enough to see yourself become the villain, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
No doubt. No doubt. Never even thought of that.
But yeah, no, that one definitely way up my alley.
It's kind of funny when you mentioned that's what got you into like D&D, because so I didn't know what D&D was when I was a kid, but I knew we had a closet full of board games.
Okay.
And we had a D&D. It was like a board, and it was just like blank spaces, like squares, and like there was like little trap doors and stairs
Hero
and stuff.
Quest.
I don't know.
That's what it is. I bet you it's Hero Quest.
Okay. And they had like cards. You had like cards. Okay.
That's the one.
I kind of want to play that now.
Yeah, you do. Hero Quest is great. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, when I was a kid, so we had like Rattle Me Bones. We had like all these cool little like Operation. We had all these like cool little board gamey things, right? And I remember seeing Dungeons and Dragons, and I was like, oh, this kind of looks like Dragon Quest, or Dragon Warrior, I would have thought at the time. And I opened it up, and I had no idea what I was doing, right? So I just remember going through all the cards, and it's funny because you seeing Diablo and being like, that's what made me fall in love with D&D. It's like the opposite for me. So I remember pulling a card that said it was a slime, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is not a slime, because I knew this the slime, right?
Dragon
like I have a fucking this is what a slime looks like.
Right.
Not what it is on that card, right? I was like, what the hell is this? This isn't a slime. And I just remember hating D&D when I was a little kid because of that.
These guys got to go check it, try it again. They got it wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I hated it. But now, yeah, I think you think it was Heroes Quest?
Hero Quest. I'll almost guarantee that's the game that you found.
After the podcast, you should send me a link so I can see, because I know what the board looks like and everything.
I'll send you the advertisement too, because you can hear the kids say "bro showed."
Okay.
Bro showed. Hero Quest was a Milton Bradley board gameized version of D&D. It wasn't D&D. It wasn't actually Dungeons and Dragons, but it
was like D&D in an hour.
Yeah, you had a game master. They ran the game. They controlled the monsters, and then you had players who picked the barbarian or the fighter or the dwarf or whoever. Right, so it was and it wasn't D&D, but yeah, And then you set the board up in a way the dungeon master decides, and there's doors and corridors, and inside the doors are monsters, and it's a whole thing.
I bet that's it.
Yeah,
dude, now I want to fucking play that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Jason had a copy of that too. It's great. Yeah.
And I hated it because I didn't know, I didn't understand, right? I didn't know.
It's not a slime.
And I just remember going through the cards, and some of the cards looked so cool. Like some of it was like, but I had no idea how to play it. Right?
It's funny when you look at Dungeons and Dragons, and that's why, by the way, that's why Dungeons and Dragons isn't on this list, because Dungeons and Dragons, it really influenced all of these games, right? Like you look at a lot of the Final Fantasy 1 monsters, they're ripped right out of right out of Dungeons and Dragons, right? Dungeons and Dragons ripped it right out of Lord of the Rings, right? Like there's different layers of that kind of stuff. But it literally influences all of these things at a certain point, right? It's really, really cool. Dungeons and Dragons not on my list because I didn't actually get into D&D until much 2005, 2006, right? So it was outside of the realm for me. So
all right. Is it your number 4 now?
That was 4. Yeah, Diablo 4 and Lord of Destruction.
Oh, right. So I'm on my number 4. Okay, so my number 4 was Metal Gear Solid 2. That game. Okay. Did you?
I gotta tell you, man, I'm pretty close. This is about on point, unless your 5 is really surprising to me. And the reason why Metal Gear Solid 2, because I remember coming over to your house and you being so hyped for Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh yeah,
you played that game.
I played through it like I could beat it in 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
too.
Like you played a ludicrous amount of that game.
I did.
And the whole time I'm like, I don't even know what you're doing right now. You're like, no, it's fine. You're like making your way through it.
Dude, I was so good at it too. And like, so that and Metal Gear Solid 3, I beat on like the hardest possible difficulty. Like, but Metal Gear Solid 2, I think I like 3 better now, but at the time, because I didn't really like Metal Gear Solid, like the first one. But me and Paul had Metal Gear on the NES, and it wasn't very good. But when you're a little kid, your imagination takes over, and you kind of like, I'm a secret.
You can make it good if you want to.
Yeah, exactly. I'm this cool secret agent guy in the middle of the jungle. But so then I played the first Metal Gear Solid, and I didn't really like it. I don't know if it was the controls or what. And then Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, and I remember, I think I played it at my cousin's. I don't know if it was I think it was a demo. I played it at my cousin's, and that was the first game where I thought video games can never get any more real than this. Like, this is the most realistic game I've ever seen in my life. And just like the storytelling and like the depth of all the characters, and it was so good, dude. The gameplay was really good, and the amount of fucking around you could do in the game too. I think that was like a big thing for me, especially back then. Was just screwing around, because that was back when like GTA 3 and even like GTA 1 was around, where like when it comes to me and like sandbox games, this is why I don't own any GTA games past the PS2, is because I don't play sandbox games for the story. I just play them to fuck around, right?
Yeah,
and Metal Gear Solid 2 had
open world games is coming out at this point, right? Like,
what's that?
I said the concept of open world games is starting to come out.
And Metal Gear Solid 2 was like, you had the entire like tanker to like as your playground, basically, right? You had and there was an exceptional story,
right?
And these exceptional characters and these crazy off the wall things happening to them, and then that ends, and you go to the big shell, and it's even this bigger and crazier story, and then the ending is absolutely insane. And again, this is where this was the first time outside of a JRPG where I felt this kind of I saw this kind of like spectacle again, right? Where like all these like crazy action scenes are happening, this deep, engrossing story. And it's like, to me, this is like the first time I could see that out of it. A story being told in this way outside of a JRPG. And then also the gameplay being tight as fuck too. Right. So that's why that one like absolutely nailed it for me. And then I became obsessed with the Metal Gear series ever since.
It was in from that point forward.
Yeah.
So my number 5, I wish this was 6 because then I could give you another one, but My number 5 is Mass Effect 2 on the 360.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
And the reason for Mass Effect 2 is my favorite of the trilogy of the 3 Mass Effect games. The reason why Mass Effect 2 is on this list as a pivotal is because it was the very first time I played a game where my choices actually mattered.
Oh yeah.
So the crew that you assemble, how good your relationships were with that crew that you assemble, are the quests that you pick up, the decisions you make, the people you tick off along the way, and your decisions from the previous game in Mass Effect 1. They could it was just like this perfect combination of game elements that led, and with it being an absolutely phenomenal story as well. Like,
yeah, dude,
that is just,
and the gameplay was
fun. Everything about that was great. And then 3 wasn't as good as 2 was. 3 was good, it just wasn't as good as 2 was. And that was because BioWare was purchased by EA just before Mass Effect 2 released.
Oh,
so Mass Effect 2 hadn't really been affected by the EA merger, but Mass Effect 3 really was, and that's where you can see the difference between the styles of games, right? It was the first time since, I honestly I don't even think I could say since Final Fantasy VII, because I didn't beat Final Fantasy VII. Well, no, I would have beat it before Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 would have been around 2007-ish, 2008-ish.
6, 7, yeah.
I think I would have completed Final Fantasy VII for the first time 2003, maybe 2004. But it was the first time in a long time, let's say, that I had that visceral reaction of the game ending and me not wanting it to be over.
Oh,
I literally did everything that you could possibly do in the game, and there wasn't anything left to do. And I wanted more, right? It was, and I didn't get that feeling in a game again until I played Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So between 2007 or whatever and 2014, that was completely absent from video games for me. I not even at all did I even come close to being like, wow, like what an amazing game. I'm legitimately upset that there's not more for me to play.
Yeah, it's like that meme where it's like when a good game ends and you have a tear in your eye and you need to smoke a cigarette or something.
Yeah, and funny
you
enough,
just sit in silence while the credits roll, and you're
for
like,
real,
wow,
dude. Funny enough, Mass Effect, Final Fantasy VII to Mass Effect 2 to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 to Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Probably the only games I've ever played that have really rocked me hard to where I'm like, I can't believe that it's over. This is insane. So yeah, that's why I wish there was 6, because it would have been Xenoblade Chronicles 2 would have been the next one. But
I had a ton too that I wanted to like add at like I mean I will say Dragon Quest XI is not on this. It's my favorite game of all time, and that was another one too where like at the end I was like, oh my god, it's not only is it over, but this is the greatest ending of all.
Well, you just have that feeling in your gut, like just like this feels like you're about to lose a part of yourself, right?
Yeah, it's over. I can't believe it's over. I totally get that.
The ending to Mass Effect 2 is probably one of my favorite video game endings of all time, because of how it changes depending on how you approach it, right?
And I need to
you need to play it. You do. Like no spoilers or anything, but like you can rush the ending. You can get to the end like that if you want, but there's consequences for doing so, right? There's also consequences for taking too long and prepping too long, right? Like there's like
that's the ending I might
no, but I mean, none of it's bad though, right? Like it's not like it's a good bad. It's just there's you make decisions and there's consequences to those decisions that you make, and that's what makes it so good. Good, right? Like it's just like unreal.
Why did you do that?
That can be your intro. So good.
Freaking that's something that I need to finish, because I played it on the PS3, and like
that
you
was a
would
bad
change
experience.
floors on the Normandy, and it was like a 5-minute wait loading screen.
I've read so many like,
and the game was good. I was enjoying it, but I was like, I can't do this. It's so much wasted
awful.
time.
I've read so many, like, I don't know if you call them reviews or what, but people have basically said like this game should never have been released on the PS3.
Yeah,
like honestly. Literally it's not like, this is a right now you can get the Legendary Edition. It's like such a steal for the Legendary Edition.
Did you play Mass Effect 2 on the Legendary Edition yet, though?
I haven't. No.
I want you to play it first and let me know if it's still as good.
The Legendary Edition, I think I got a free copy of it from one of them, either Twitch or Epic or EA or something. But I picked it up. I picked it up on a sale, I think, for like $1.50, like a ludicrous.
You played the first one though on it.
I did play the first one, and it went flawlessly.
Oh, okay. It like compared, like they didn't like.
Oh yeah, no, there's no difference. I think they upscaled the graphics, but the beauty with the Legendary Edition is it includes all of the DLC that they released. And I've always been somebody that, unless it's like mandatory to the story, I'm not buying your DLC. I'm not interested in you unlocking a portion of the game that should have been there from day one.
Yeah.
Right. And so I didn't play a lot of the DLC when the game's released.
Oh, but now you could.
But now I have the ability to check that content out.
My favorite character was always Sniper Piccolo.
Garrus. Yeah. Garrus is great. Garrus is like your best friend. If you're male shepherd, Garrus is like your best friend. If you're female shepherd, it's like your default, like
banging them.
Yeah, like your default relationship, right? Where Liara is the male shepherd's default.
Is that the chick who can't come out of her suit?
No, that's Tally.
Oh, no, that was
Liara's the Asari.
I wanted to see her out of that suit. Let's just say that.
Liara's got the blue skin.
No, I didn't. I hated her.
Really, you're like the scientist?
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
I liked Miranda a lot too.
Miranda, she's from Mass Effect 2. Yeah, there you go. Good to go. Yeah, the fantastic game.
There's a lot of gratuitous ass shots.
There's a lot of camera from behind area. 2007, 2006, 2007, whenever that was. That was a
maximum
wild time.
horny gaming back then.
That was a lot of gooners back then. That's what that was.
Dude, you remember the opening to God of War 2?
Yeah.
You literally got to bang those girls and knock the thing off of you have to bang them hard enough to knock the thing off of the nightstand to start the game.
It's like, what? I wonder why girls don't like video games.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah, no doubt. Fuck.
Yeah. Right. Great. What was your number 5?
So my number 5, it was actually Dragon Quest VIII.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I didn't even so keep this in mind, right? So Dragon Warrior was called Dragon Warrior forever, right? And they never marketed the games very well. I had, up until this point, I had only played 1 and 4. I'd played 1 and 4. For whatever reason, I never played 2 and 3 on the NES. And 7 was released here as Dragon Warrior 7 on the PS1, but like it did so bad. They literally released it, and Enix was like, "We're fucked." Like Enix America basically went under right after releasing it, so they couldn't promote it. So nobody, like most people, didn't know it existed, and that's why it's like so expensive to get now. And so I didn't know it existed. And anyways, years after, like I said before, I'm right now I'm obsessed with Final Fantasy. Right? I had just probably finished playing through 10 multiple times. And 11 was out, but nobody really cared because it was an MMO. And
Paul cared.
Yeah. He played the shit out. He still plays the shit out of that game.
He loved that game.
Then the demo for Final Fantasy 12, because this was after the merger, right? And they were like, "Look, Dragon Warrior has not done all that well in the West. I got an idea on how to maybe increase sales." And that idea was to put the demo for Final Fantasy 12 in with Dragon Warrior 8 or Dragon Quest 8, right? And I was like, I had no idea what Dragon Quest was. I hadn't played Dragon Warrior 4 since I was
a kid.
I was a little kid, yeah. And this would have come out after I graduated. I want to say this would have been like 2005 ish, maybe 2006, maybe 2007. I don't even remember. But I just remember being like, oh, dude, I got to get the demo for Final Fantasy 12. And so I bought Dragon Quest VIII, whatever the fuck that is, to play the I literally played the demo before I even
you didn't even play the I remember this. How is 8 the one with Yangus?
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember you being like telling me this story while you're playing this game. You're like, this game is so good, I can't believe this. Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because that was when you were living with Paul, right?
Yeah, it might have been. It might have been.
I think it was, because I remember you like showing me this game, and I was like, I don't get it.
And so I remember playing the Final Fantasy 12 demo. I played it like probably through it twice.
Sure.
And I was like, the combat's really weird, but I really like the characters. I like the situation that's going on here. It's really cool. And then I was like, well, I bought this game. I might as well play it and see what it is. And I remember starting it up. And I was like, this is kind of weird. And then it wasn't until it's kind of like after the first, I can't remember if you fight slimes right off the hop. I think you do, like right in the opening cutscene. And I was like, there's something fucking familiar about this, but I don't know what it is, right? And then I remember, I played through and I did enjoy it. I really, really enjoyed Dragon Quest VIII, and the characters were really good, like especially Yangus. Like I love Yangus. Everybody loves Yangus. And the story was really good. And this was one of the first games since like the NES that I actually bought like the Brady Games guide.
Oh,
like,
the strategy guide.
Yes, because you have a pet mouse named Munchie. And so Dragon Quest has what's called breath attacks, and usually only like dragons can use breath attacks.
Sure.
But in Dragon Quest VIII, not only did they give you a monster party that you can use as like a summon basically, and has never been done since, and should have been done in like the Dragon Quest VII remake, but it's different anyways. But you have a monster party you can summon, but most importantly, the main character has a pet mouse named Munchie, and you feed him different types of cheese, and depending on what type of cheese you give him, he'll do a different type of breath attack.
Okay.
And so when I had the book, dude, I was like, because there's like the alchemy pot and you can make different cheeses by mixing different ingredients and stuff. I just remember being obsessed with that part of it. Just like giving Munchie all these different types of like abilities and stuff. But yeah, anyways, I'd played hours and hours of this and I was loving it. And I was like, man, I love this on a level that on its own, I'm loving it. But there's something in here that's so familiar and I do not understand why. And then I just remember looking it up because this would have been like the Gaia Online days. Yep. Do you remember that? Yep. And I remember looking it up and I was like, and then it's like, yes, this series was formerly known as Dragon Warrior. And I was like, no way! This is that fucking series I liked as a kid.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what the? And so I beat 8. I did like a little bit of the post game, which was pretty tough. And 8's phenomenal. It's not one of my favorites in the series, but I do love it. It is an incredible game, like pretty much all the Dragon Quest games are, I would say.
Sure.
But and it was after 8, that's honestly what got me into the Dragon Quest series, because after I beat 8, I went back and replayed Dragon Warrior on the NES. I finally got a copy of Dragon Warrior 2 and 3. I played and reviewed Dragon Warrior 2, and I hated it. And then and that's when we were doing like the website. We had like blurryprawn.com, right? So we were doing like reviews and stuff. And I think the last review I ever did was actually Dragon Warrior 2, I think was the last review I did on that site. And then I played through 3 and I was like, oh my god, this is so amazing. And then there's like connections, because that's the other thing. Final Fantasy has like no connections other than like monster names and spell names.
Very little. Maybe a couple like Easter egg callbacks.
Yes, but Dragon Quest has like connections, right? And like some of them are sequels to each other. And to find these connections, and like to me that was what really made me appreciate it even more. Yeah. And then I replayed 4 and I was like, fuck me, like I remember this game being good, but it is so much better as an adult.
For sure.
And then right around the time I finished 4 would have been when 5 and 6 came out on the DS because because 5 and 6 were never released over here until the DS years later, and those remakes came out. Played them, loved 5, not so much 6, and then I ended up finding Dragon Warrior 7, and I was like, I just have to buy it because it was so expensive, and so expensive back then was like $99.
Oh yeah, I snapped a picture in that one store of a sealed copy of it, and it was like over $1,000 or something like that.
They're pretty expensive. And I got it and I played through it, and that was like so many people are shitting on the new remake that's coming out because they've like removed some of the content because the game is like 140 hours long, and there's like a lot of backtracking and stuff. But Dragon Warrior 7 and Snatcher were the two games that was when I lived in Regina, and all my friends were like a 2-hour minimum drive away.
We were very far away from each other.
Yes, like 4 hours for most of my friends, 2 hours for Finney and Paul, right?
Yeah.
And it was like I had a book and I would just write in this book, like, because it didn't handhold at all. And you would write down, okay, this guy is referencing this. Like, I'd write down what all the NPCs said in each town so that I could find the tablet, so I could go and go to new worlds and like do all this stuff. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to say like what is actually happening, but that and Snatcher were like the two games that I was like super like engrossed in because the games do not hold your hand. Like Snatcher is like an investigative like adventure game, basically, right?
It's kind of like a point and click game with action.
Kind of, yeah, very similar, yeah. And then Dragon Warrior 7 is just a huge fucking JRPG that you really have to remember everything yourself, or you're going to be screwed. And and I played 7, and then I remember after I finished 7, 9 came out. Like the timing was just perfect too, right? And then there was the drought, obviously, between 9 and 11 because we didn't get 10 here. But yeah, that's what I would not have become a Dragon Quest fan at all if not for Dragon Quest 8.
I remember that conversation because we were talking. You were saying how hyped you were for the Final Fantasy 12 demo, how good it is. And then you're like, yeah, and I bought this other game to play the Final Fantasy 12. I should probably give it a try. And then it was like a few weeks later, you're like, this is Dragon Warrior. I was like, okay, sure, yeah. Because I didn't know what Dragon Warrior was. But
yeah.
I remember I was talking about that when we were doing the website stuff. That was really funny.
Yeah,
I'll always remember Yangus. I don't know anything about the game. I just know like I can pick the character out because he wears that hat.
The spiked brownie looking hat.
Who is better, Yangus or Bosch von Ronsenberg?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think that's a tough one. I really like both. Captain Bosch is awesome, but so is Yangus.
Von Ronsenberg.
It's tough because Bosch is a great character, very likable, but Bosch, when you're telling Bosch the most serious story, the most heart-wrenching story, he's not standing there in the background going like this. Whereas Yangus will actively be doing that while you're like telling him
things light. Love it.
Yeah. I love Yangus. He's so good.
What a combination of games. Was that around the time Dragon Quest VII? Was that around the time that Square became Square Enix?
So Dragon Quest VIII, I think, was Dragon Quest VIII, and then later releases of Final Fantasy X was when they became Square Enix. Like I want to say they became Square Enix like right after Final Fantasy X came out, because Spirits Within was like so high budget to them, and it did so bad, and they had to like merge, right?
Yeah, I was thinking we should do a watch party of Spirits Within. It's been long enough that we should watch. I don't think
anyone should watch it.
And we should watch what was the Final Fantasy Advent Children? We should watch Advent Children. We got to put ourselves through it.
We did a watch party of Advent Children like 5 years ago, and it still sucks.
I was gonna say it's been at least 10 years, I think, since I've seen. I saw Spirits.
I fall asleep every time too.
I saw Spirits Within in the theater.
No way.
And I don't think I've seen it again since then, because it was just such an awful. It was so bad.
So here's the thing about Spirits Within. This was the worst part, okay? So my dad did not understand my obsession with video games. Like he did not. He was like, "Oh, you should be working on cars and shit." Like one of those parents, right? And I'm like obsessed with video games, obsessed with Final Fantasy of all. Like that was the pinnacle of video games, right? And I'm telling him about how amazing the story. Like I'm like, "Oh, this is what happens in these games. This is all this cool shit." So I remember I saw like the teaser trailer of Spirits Within, right? And it looks good. Like if you just look at the trailer
makes the movie look great.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I remember we rented it. Me and my dad rented it. And I was like so hyped for him to experience Final Fantasy for the first time. Fuck me, dude. It's the worst way to do that.
He's just looking at you the whole time like this, like,
this is what you think is good. Yeah. Oh man, it's brutal.
It was really bad. Yeah. I don't think I've seen it since it came out.
Yeah, it's for the best.
I was so hyped for it to come out. Right.
I'd have to get pretty baked if we're gonna do a watch party of Spirits Within.
I'm okay with that.
Advent Children was the one that I fell asleep almost every single time.
Yeah, Advent Children.
That's part of the whole movie is when Tifa says, "Shilly shally dilly dally."
Advent Children. The last, I out of all of the like schlock, the Final Fantasy VII schlock that exists, I have given Advent Children the most chances, and I don't think I've ever made it through to the end of the movie.
It's really bad. Yeah,
it's just like
it doesn't make sense either. And they're like flying around. It's like all of a sudden it's like Crouching Tiger hidden. Yeah,
there was a lot of really bad decisions. I don't know if I've ever seen the credits of that movie. Every time I'm just like, I got to stop.
Yeah.
There's one epic moment in that movie, and that's when they're all fighting together, and like Barrett's sliding down a cable, and they're all
doesn't somebody like throw?
Yeah, like they're all fighting together, and you get a couple moments like that in Rebirth. Like there's a couple moments at the end of the game where you're fighting against the whatever you're fighting against, and those are epic moments. But to get to that epic moment, I don't know.
A lot of bullshit.
The ticket's not worth the price of admission on that one, I don't think.
Yeah, so. It's brutal, man.
But yeah,
it's brutal. Well, yeah, this was I thought this was a great episode. Great. What did you? So you said you thought you knew.
I pretty much nailed. I didn't see Dragon Quest VIII coming. I figured you were gonna go. I had thought you were gonna say something about White Knight Chronicles. Being like that would have been one of either that. So I had White Knight Chronicles as your very last.
Played a lot of White Knight Chronicles.
White Knight Chronicles, Moo Online, or what was that other one that we played? There was another one, but
Juan.
Yeah, like those ones that we played online, like those were like your first real kick at online games like that.
Yeah.
But I absolutely got I figured Dragon Quest 1 was on the list. I was like, that's a no-brainer. I didn't know Dragon Quest 4, but you kind of gave me an out by saying both. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I was like, that one's guaranteed. Metal Gear Solid 2, I nailed that one too. And then I those ones I was like, I got them on those.
The only one I knew was going to be Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. I thought Counter-Strike was going to be on there for sure.
Well, I mean, it technically is. I cheated and said the mods, right? But Team Fortress Classic, Counter-Strike, and Day of Defeat. Those are the primary mods for Half-Life. And I played them all. I played Team Fortress Classic the most, and then it flipped and I played Counter-Strike the most after, right?
Oh, yeah. This is good. This is probably one of my favorite episodes to do because I feel like we both learned so much about each other
on things. Yeah, absolutely.
And guys, share your most important.
Give us your 5.
Yes, give us your 5 most significant games that made you down in the comments below. All right. If you enjoyed this, please remember to like, subscribe, turn notifications to all. Hit that hype button. Helps the podcast as well. Be sure to subscribe to DG Online, Dad Gaming Online on YouTube as well. You can always listen to this on Spotify, or if you're on Spotify and you want to watch it, you can check it out on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dookie03. thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. And be sure to come hang out with us live during Spectrefest.
Yeah.
I think we'll do our October podcast after Spectrefest, probably.
Yeah,
So we can talk
at
about
this
it.
point, we're only a few weeks away from it now. So yeah, we'll do another one after the event.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys so much. This was great. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did, and we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.